How you doing, Mr. DJ back? Let me kind of spruce up a little bit. I should have done this before I started my videos. How you doing? It's back to my 60s YouTube channel. And I guess for the rest of this summer 2017, I want to focus on the summer of 1967. Billboard's Hot 100, picking out those Lost 45s from that summer. And let's go to that Billboard Hot 100. This Hot 100 would be the week of August the 12th, 1967. The top 5 hits from that week: Mercy, Mercy, Mercy by the Buckinghams, a soulful record. Of 1967 was a big year for the Buckinghams. Kind of a drag, and Don't You Care, Mercy, 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 and oh gosh, there was Susan, and there was a song about Hey Baby, They're Playing Our Song. That was about 5 hits, 1967. And Here I Am Back in Love Again, that was in early 1968, and then they just kind of died out. They're at number 5, up from number 7. Pleasant Valley Sunday by the Monkees from number 9 to number 4. I Was Made to Love Her by Stevie Wonder at number 2. All You Need Is Love by the Beatles from number 3 to number 2. They're getting on up there. But at number 1, The Doors, their iconic classic, Light My Fire, at number 1 on Billboard's Hot 100. And let's go all the way down to song number 76. A Lost 45 by the Four Tops did not make the top 40, fell short of the top 40. I'll Turn to Stone by the Four Tops on Billboard's Hot 100. August 12th or 15th, 1967. This Turn to Stone was a B-side. B-side to Seven Rooms of Gloom. Seven Rooms of Gloom did pretty well for the Four Tops. Not as big as Sugar Pie Honey Bunch or maybe not Baby I Need Your Lovin'. Went to number 14 on Billboard's Hot 100. Did well in England. Went to number 12. And now this is where the research takes you into different directions. I'll Turn to Stone, written by Holland Dozier Holland along with R. Dean Taylor. He was a songwriter at Motown, hired as a songwriter at Motown in 1964 as a recording artist for the VIP label. That was in the mid-60s. But later got on Rare Earth. The Rare Earth was a subsidiary label of Motown. That was later on, though, in the 60s. R. Dean Taylor, he came out with a song in 1967. He recorded some material for Motown in the 60s, R. Dean Taylor, but they were never were hits. But there was one that was a hit in England much later in the 70s. Along with, it was produced by Brian Holland and Lamont Dozier. R. Dean Taylor came out with a song called There's a Ghost in My House. He recorded it in 1966. It was released in 1967. It was not a hit, but in England, oh my goodness, you won't believe it. You gotta check out There's a Ghost in My House. Classic Motown, classic Holland Dozier Holland production, wizardry going into that record. In England, There's a Ghost in My House was played in the soul clubs, the northern soul clubs, including places like Mecca, which was in Blackpool, and a place called Wigan, I think it's Wigan Casino or Casina in England. I think it's Casino. My chicken scratch all messed up. And it was released as a single in England in 1973, 1974. And There's a Ghost in My House by R. Dean Taylor. The old Motown song went to number 3 in England in 1974. How about that? Gosh. Well, if you're old enough and grew up in England, you might remember the song back in 1974, the R. Dean Taylor record. Of course, here in the States and in England as well, he's best known for Indiana Wants Me, 1970. Put out as a single in England in 1971, I think. Well, anyway, R. Dean Taylor co-wrote this song, I'll Turn to Stone, along with Holland Dozier Holland. He was definitely an insider at Motown. He co-wrote the song All I Need by the Temptations, which was a hit in 1967. That might be on this Hot 100, and he co-produced. Well, there was a clan of Motown producers and songwriters. There was Frank Wilson and Henry Cosby and R. Dean Taylor, and there was a couple others, and they produced Love Child by the Supremes. Boy, a lot of talented songwriters and producers at Motown. I mean, we're talking about a major music factory back in the day. A lot of soul at Motown. Well, I'll Turn to Stone by the Four Tops, though, was not a hit. Well, it was a small hit from 77 to number 76, week of August 12th, 1967. Make sure I got that date right. Yeah, 1967. And it was on Motown, not Motown, but it was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 5 weeks, I think. If I can bring that up for you real quick. Number 76. It peaked at 76 on Billboard's Hot 100 for 5 weeks. I'll Turn to Stone by the Four Tops.